Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Touchgrass Wrestling Podcast. I am your host. My name is Johnny Romano.
And I'm Grayson Green.
And we've got one hell of a guest tonight. We are live at TGW Base Camp, the Streamline, opposite Warehouse 4. We had one hell of an event last night. Now we have the pleasure of introducing one of the stars who competed at Sacred Sounds. Trent Seven, welcome to the podcast, my brother. How are you doing?
Welcome to the incredible place that is Dubai.
Oh, it's fun. Well, I was going to say, you enjoying Dubai?
Where dreams are made and bank accounts are emptied.
Emptied, absolutely, but especially when you have a great match and you win and you celebrate it. What a hell of a night. Thank you. Like I say, it is an honour to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
We met you last night. I had you at this show. We've done commentary on the show as well. We're going to get all that released as well. Meeting you. You're a great guy, by the way.
Thanks.
Not licking your ass or anything.
That's all right, man.
No, you're a top dude. We were dead nervous.
Just be nice.
Keep bigging up.
I was nervous when I came in because I was here obviously first, and I went round and shook everyone's hand. I was like, oh my God, that's Trent Seven.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a weird one. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because we've watched you for years on TV, everywhere. It's hard to not see a Trent Seven, like some kind of content somewhere. And to meet you, you're like, yeah, we're a bit nervous. Like, we're going to interview Trent. He's like, how you doing, mate? You all right? Just a normal geezer.
A normal guy that just wants to wrestle.
There is no real bravado.
No.
Just yourself.
Yeah. I think the only time I change from this is you just get an accentuated version of it when I come out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same as like all the best characters and all the best wrestlers really are just that, aren't they?
Extension of them.
They're just a massive over-the-top extension of what they are.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe, I don't know how much more over the top I can go, but maybe I'll try and tap into it. But, you know, that for me is just it. Like, you know, I started very late in wrestling as well, so, you know, maybe that's part of it. I didn't get kind of beat up and bruised and battered through, you know, like being a kid. Like,
How old were you when you started?
Like 30.
You're joking.
Wow.
30?
Yeah.
30?
Like, I had I did a couple of training sessions.
What were you doing before that?
Everything like my mate had a sales office, so I used to manage that for him, and then I was doing like new business development for like nightclubs and restaurants and bars and all that kind of stuff.
So that's why you go with like people person kind of thing.
Well, before that, like the first proper job that I had was door-to-door sales.
Wow, that is tough.
That's old school, that. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that is, I wouldn't be the same person.
Yeah.
It's the best job I've ever had.
Well, it makes you better at promos and stuff like that as well.
It does, man. Like, knocking on 100 random customers' doors, like, random people you've never met in your life, and then somehow you're communicating with them past them slamming the door in your face. And then you're just in their house, and they're like, oh, do you want a cup of tea? You're like, oh, yeah. And you're just
Yeah, cheers.
changing their gas and electric supplier or whatever, or getting them to donate to some charity or something. And, like, it's wild, man. And I think... what's his name? James Smith.
James Smith.
You know the Dunne like PT geezer.
Right.
The James
On
Smith
YouTube?
Academy. Yeah. YouTube, Instagram. He's massive. He
Right.
lives out in Australia now, and he's got some cracking, like really, really top quality podcasts. Like his content's great, and I came across one of his podcasts the other day, and he was talking about. He must have worked for the same company that I did. It's a massive company.
What, the door-to-door sales company?
Yeah, it's a huge company, man. It's DS Max or something it was called in America.
What were you selling?
I was selling gas and electric.
Wow.
So changing people's gas and electricity supplies. But like I said, like I seen him talking about it. I was like, fuck, we definitely went to the same like. We'll go rallies and all this mad stuff, like because it's very Americanized.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You get back from the day out and like knocking the doors and stuff. And if you made it over this amount of money, everyone would like chant. In, like,
Oh, no.
And then you would go up there and there'd be like normally it'd just be like a table or something like that, or like a fireplace in the office. And there's like a little bell, a big bell, a triangle. And like a gong, and it was like 50 quid, 75 quid, 100 quid, 150 quid.
Oh.
So you go up there and you go, oh, I did all right today, and you kind of like tell people like, yeah, and then you say a little bit of a thing like, yeah. What worked for me was just keeping my attitude and just sticking at it and just going through all the weather and everything. Like you did a lot, you cut promos on your day.
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, this is amazing. There's like a rapper in it. There was a rapper that used to work there, like a part-time rapper, and he was just. Like the most encapsulating geezer I'd ever met. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I want to be him.
Yeah, and I was like, right, that's it. So I started ringing the bell and making money and all this, just so I could do the promos at the end of it.
Oh, I love that.
So
That is
I'll
mega.
come back and be like, there's like a horn. I think a horn was 75 quid or something. It was like, haku, haku. And everyone's like, yeah, 75 quid, man. What
I
worked for
love
you?
that.
And I'll be like, I went out there today and I just never gave up.
Wow.
I just powered through.
Came over the goal.
No, come rain or shine. I was 80 doors in and I only had 20 quid in the bank. And I was like, no, man, I can keep fucking.
Just cutting promos,
the
you know.
bravado, that's the shit that we used to spit. It was so funny.
I love that. What a story.
So funny. But, hopefully when this comes out, there'll be a lot of recall from this because, man, I work with some unreal people, man.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if door-to-door sales is still a thing, but if it is, now you know how to get in the business. You start with door-to-door sales and you cut promos in the brain.
Man. And arguably, I suppose that's the point, isn't it? Without making it sound cheesy, that's what wrestling is, and it's selling.
Yeah, selling.
It is selling, isn't it? It's it's drawing people in and giving them a part of what a part of what you're doing, or giving the information, or that getting them to be part of whatever act or whatever it is that you're selling, and then that is what selling is. You know what I mean? When you watch the greatest of all time, like the Ric Flairs and the Shawn Michaelses and everything, right? These guys are just emotional leeches, man. You were stuck to them.
Yeah, you buy into
the way
that.
through their match.
It's amazing stuff. How did you get? So you say you're doing promos, and did you assume from doing some promos from selling door to door that you could be a wrestler? Is that
No. I was always a massive.
So you were always going to be a
fan.
wrestler in your mind?
No. I was always a massive wrestling fan.
Right.
I loved it. My old man would bring back, because we never had Sky. You couldn't afford Sky.
Yeah.
You had to be
Sky,
a
you
millionaire
had
to
Sky,
have
yeah.
back in the day.
You
And,
do even more so
or
now.
cable.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it was, old cable. And people will remember this. Old people will. There was like a rectangular black controller with the orange buttons on the bottom.
Oh yes,
Remember
yes,
that?
I remember that. Yep.
I'm out here.
Anyway, so you'd obviously record it on VHS, and he had a mate at work who ran the company that he worked for, and he would oh, your son likes the wrestling, doesn't he? And every so often you would record something. So like Wrestling Challenge or Superstars, all that old rubbish, but it was great.
Yeah.
and that, you know what? That's another part of the promo side of it. When you watch them old shows back, like Wrestling Challenge, it was promo, character, just a promo about a character saying he's going to beat someone up, and then a match.
Yep.
I think that tells a lot about my generation of wrestling. That the wrestlers who are coming into their 40s and mid 40s now. I feel like that's maybe why we were quite good at that.
Yeah.
It's because that's what we were brought up watching.
You were throwback,
now
for
it's
sure.
like hyper concentrated.
Yeah.
Ultimate soprano storylines.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm like,
It's a bit much.
oh my god! If I was a kid coming up in wrestling now, and I was watching this the Bloodline stuff,
Yeah.
That's
I'd
been
be
mega,
I
by the
can't be
way.
a wrestler.
No.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera now.
Yeah, it makes me think. Very very fortunate to have done main roster tours and stuff like that with Roman Reigns and the Usos, and they're just incredible. It's just lovely boys, such.
Are they
great
down
people.
to earth? Are they?
Wonderful people,
Yeah.
man. But then I watched the Bloodline stuff, and I'm like, I can't do this.
No chance.
I don't know if I'm this good. I know I can.
What, the out of the ring or the in the ring?
It's the in ring, man.
Now it's just gone up a
not
notch.
The wrestling, anything but the wrestling. It's just, it's incredible. It's the best storyline I think ever in wrestling.
The Bloodline.
We
100% agree.
talked about that.
Honestly,
yeah, the best
said it on the
best one in
I think it's
the
the
last.
standalone best storyline ever.
The
in
emotion, the
wrestling.
storytelling, the face, everything.
They won
It's
an
just
Emmy
been
for it,
beautiful.
don't they?
Yeah.
Paul
And you
Heyman was
look at
like,
how long it's going, and it's got no end. This is
It doesn't
we're
end.
watching EastEnders or whatever within WWE. So the WWE is always a constantly evolving storyline.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
come in and people come out, whatever. But I feel like this has got its own part for the next probably 4, 5, 6 years.
yeah, because I haven't seen a more organic babyface like Sami Zayn come up through the ranks in a long time. How
Long time.
organically that
You're
came
talking
about.
Daniel Bryan times, right?
Exactly.
And
And it's kind of from design as well. We saw Sammy. He was main eventing. Well, he wasn't main event. He was at Mania. He had the Joker car with the Jackass, the whole skit there. And to go from that to be main event in Mania in a year, that is a joke. That is ridiculous.
Because I've never heard a bigger pop when he actually smacked Roman Reigns in the back. That was nuts.
I don't know where they go from here though.
I don't.
Yeah, I think it's a debt. Well, you said it goes on forever, but
I think you'll see this bloodline continue out, and it'll be. Arguably, I think it will be the rubber stamp for the next 20 years how good wrestling can be.
Well, you said you obviously.
You know, like, our generation, right? We look at the Attitude Era, and we always go back to that. But give me a storyline.
A story like
No,
you can't. Yeah, I know.
There was cool people who did cool shit, right? And there's a lot of people telling people to suck their dicks.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
suck it, all
boobs,
that.
and there's a lot of Cartman stuff, and
Yeah.
the world was just a wild, crazy place.
It was the
back then,
best,
right?
yeah,
It
it
was,
was the best.
it was insane, right? But I can't give you a genuine, real, true storyline. There was loads of really cool feuds.
Austin Vince was pretty bad.
Austin Vince was
That was the one.
Okay, so exactly
Longevity.
the same thing that came out of the conversation that I had with my mate the other day.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that comes near it.
The only thing.
And then you look back at it and you go, Austin was only on the top for like 5 years.
It feels longer, doesn't it?
It's mad.
5 years he was on the top floor, but if that, and he had
it
2 or
felt-
3 injuries during the time when he was the absolute.
And they
top
managed
man.
to carry it on when he was out.
Yeah.
The storyline not signing the contract, wanting more
That
money.
one where he came back and
And
he
he kicked-
slid.
yeah.
That one on Raw when he comes in with the
Different.
SmackDown? He comes in and
SmackDown
banged
it was,
Shane
yeah.
McMahon, I think,
Battered him
right.
up.
But when was the
So
last time you've ever seen a storyline play out this long?
So
Normally they're
There's
banged
never-
over in a month.
It's
that's
and
also
moving on.
rushed. It's also rushed.
It's just beautiful.
This
It is beautiful.
And it's
3
good though
years.
because they are literally telling their entire family history. It's
It's
incredible,
a
man.
It's nuts.
And there's obviously wonderful people that have come and unfortunately gone through it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Umaga and all this kind of stuff. There's
I wonder if they'll bring Rikishi into it. That's going to be interesting. They have to get Rikishi in.
he's got to turn up at some point.
He's got to. He's
Because
got to. Because they're
Naomi's gone to
breaking-
Impact.
Well, yeah, but they're breaking up the Uso. That's slowly drifting it now. So maybe Rikishi, because he's the dad, isn't he, of them
Yeah.
two?
Yeah, I
So
believe
maybe
so.
he'll just drift in now and. So it's a great storyline. I don't want to big them up too much, but
Yeah,
it is
I
a
was
hell of a
gonna say,
story.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do a podcast and talk about wrestling without saying it. But it blows everything out the water. And the weirdest thing is, if the bloodline wasn't going on, we'd be having the same conversation about Judgment Day.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? That's evolved
What
a lot.
story.
Dominic
That's
Mysterio.
2 years, right?
Yeah, but they
That's 2
dropped,
years they've been going with the Judgment Day storyline because it was Edge's thing, and then
they
Edge
dropped the
fit
ball though
in.
at Mania, making Edge win. I wasn't happy with that. Finn should have took the win there, and you've not seen him since either. I think they really dropped the ball there.
Well, has he ever won as the Demon? Didn't he always lose?
He's never.
as the Demon
I
or
thought
something? Or
he
did
never
always
lost
win?
as the Demon.
Was
Yeah.
that his first loss as Demon?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry.
I think they should have put over Prison Dom as well over his dad.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
they
not
hand the
happy with that.
torch.
I don't know, man.
I said he should have took the mask.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason why they did it is because Roman won at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't
So
want
like,
to
as
send.
much as
You got to send him home
as
happy.
much as
haven't
I feel like it was the correct decision, and the fans walking out of that stadium went, "Yeah, that was right."
Yeah.
Like of course Roman Reigns is going to win. Like but the fans want the babyface to win. Like,
I didn't think he'd win. You know, Roman Reigns, my guy.
I didn't think he would.
I was
honestly didn't think
fuming.
he
I
would.
thought Cody was going to end it. I was like, nah, not like this.
Remember how hyped we were when we saw him win?
Oh
we were
my.
so hyped. We're like, yes, carry on, Roman.
Come on.
Yes.
We're not seeing him since, and they've had to build a new belt because they're not going to take it away from him.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happening with that.
No, weird.
But let's
weird.
not get
Let's not talk about them.
They don't
But-
pay him anymore. So.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Well, let's. Well, can we touch
I don't
on
get those sweet checks anymore. So.
Right, well, that could be a
Let's
beautiful.
stop putting them over.
That could be a
I'm
good
joking.
segue. This is your first interview since leaving. Then.
Yeah, it was my first podcast.
You had a match AEW.
Yep.
Should we talk about that?
Had a couple of lovely little matches there.
Was it Cassidy?
Orange
The All
Cass-
Atlantic Championship.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic. It was a weird one. It was very, very quick. It happened almost overnight, the whole thing.
So how does that happen? Do you get a call off Tony Khan? Like, how does it work?
No, I mean, obviously throughout my career, kind of going back to what you were saying earlier about like, I just am me. I just try and be a nice man.
Yeah, open.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just try and talk to people and
Yeah.
try to listen to them as much as you can, and I love finding out stuff about people. I like listening to people's stories. Obviously, talking to 100 random customers a day. Do you know what I mean? It all flows in, right?
Yeah.
So I've been very lucky to have met some wonderful people like Adam Cole. Do you know what I mean? Like
Gem.
and obviously I had my own like company, Indie Fed in the UK as well.
Yeah.
So like, pretty much the whole roster has either lived in my house, or I've wrestled them, or I've bought them a flight, or do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
put them up in a hotel, and
There's something there.
that it just pays back. Do you know what I mean? And so when I walked into that locker room, there must have been like 40 people that either lived in my house or and I was like, fuck. And I was so.
Were you quite emotional?
I was, man, and not for me, for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're
Godfather
watching all
Volkov.
these people that we've like grafted it through the
Struggled.
indies,
Yeah.
and they're all on like good contracts, man. They're making money. The AEW setup at that point, the AEW setup was 1 day a week, and I was like, that's genius.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Because
the
Dynamite, they
hotel
record
costs,
Rampage, don't they?
yeah,
on the
so
same day?
they turn up and they do an hour of dark.
Yeah.
Then they go live with Dynamite. Then the last 2 hours after they go live is Rampage.
Wow.
And I was like, it's a long day.
How does the crowd act with that? Did they go a bit dead
I
between
mean,
it, or
some of them venture home.
some do
Yeah.
go? Yeah.
Especially because it's a Wednesday, right? So you can't keep the kids out till
No.
Yeah, that's a
10,
late
11
finish.
o'clock,
That.
And you got maybe an hour or 2 hour drive. It's nowhere near anything in America, right?
How would you compare? I know you were just there for like a couple of events.
Yeah.
How would you compare backstage? Because I'd like to know backstage, just the ins and the outs, just the simple things. Like, was there many big differences there? Like, just straight away you were like, okay,
It's. I think the thing about AEW is because obviously it's still incredibly new. It's
Yeah.
still incredibly fresh. They're still finding their feet with the things, the way the company's projected and the way it's promoted and stuff. And there's loads of little things that will work out. And, that's why sometimes I read stuff online and I'm like, just calm down, man.
Relax.
Everyone wants everything 2 days ago.
yeah,
You know what
you're
I mean?
right.
That's the problem.
It's like this is the world now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
we scroll and if the best information you've ever seen isn't in a 20-second reel, you're like, oh, what a
Doesn't
shit
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a waste
No
of
one's
time.
making any good content.
Yeah. Why is no one
So what
replying
do
to
you
my
mean?
WhatsApp?
Yeah, right.
I sent it to you 2 seconds ago. Why aren't you
Yeah.
replying to me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you leaving me on red? Because I've read it and I didn't want to reply.
You're a dickhead. I don't like
And
you.
then I forgot
leave
about
it
it
alone.
because there's 9 million other things and there's a bird flying in the sky and something shining on the ground.
And I think the thing is, everyone's got a platform now as well,
Yeah,
so they can
so
vent.
hard. And that's the other thing about like Instagram and podcasts. There's such a plethora of information out there that sometimes it's a little bit overpowering. Do you know
Yeah,
what
a
I
bit
mean?
much.
I think it is because before I used to be excited. You never got any spoilers. You used to watch it, and what happened. Now you get these spoilers. You get it on Instagram. You get it on Twitter. You can see what's gonna happen, or maybe breaking news is coming. Before you
Yeah.
just watch on TV and see if it was actually gonna go.
So, I mean, we're obviously going to go off on tangents.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
So, when I was younger, and you wanted to find out the results of like Raw, did you ever remember Power Slam magazine?
No,
I
I didn't
remember
have
that in the
Power
UK.
Slam, no.
So Power Slam magazine, I think I can't remember the geezer's name. Something Finley is that was anyway.
Not Fit Finley.
No.
Side project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there used to be this monthly magazine called Power Slam in the UK, and at the back there was like a 0800 number that you could phone, and it was just a constant loop of people telling you a voice reading off the results and what happened on Raw.
You're joking.
There's no internet.
That was how. And
It's
you
like
were,
1996, 97.
Yeah.
No
Why-
one
why-
had a computer, man. No one had the internet.
why would you want spoilers?
Because
How are
you're
you
just
avoiding
addicted
that?
to. Cause,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
now. You know you can find the information out, so you
you just
can't-
needed
your
it.
Brain can't. When your brain realizes that you can get it, you just want to get
How
it.
long
right?
we talking ago here? Like what? So
96,
you didn't ruin the Mick Foley moment, did you, for yourself?
Which one was that? Which one?
Oh no, that was live, wasn't it? That was live.
I had to go on teletext on the TV.
The Monday
Yeah,
Night
and
War.
teletext as well.
Teletext.
Analog TV, put it on, scroll to that page 475 and try and see where it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
I used to buy wrestling belts from WWE on the back of their magazines as well.
Yeah.
You have to get them imported. They come in a bit. It was mad. Buying
It's
I bought a
wild.
K mask as well.
Oh, you're really going to be here forever, aren't we?
Yeah,
I
I
loved
think
it,
it's just gone all over the shop.
So you
So-
would have to phone up, and you would just have to sit on the phone, just waiting. And my brother would write down all of the detailed information if I wasn't in, and then he'd come back and he'd then read it. To like, oh, we've got to watch it. And then you would go up to whatever your closest mate is who had cable or Sky.
Yeah.
Then you would go there and you would ignore the first Raw because you'd watch Nitro.
Yeah.
Because Raw and Nitro were at the same time.
Yeah.
So you'd watch Nitro and then you'd watch the rerun of Raw at like 11 o'clock that night.
Were you WCW then? Was that?
I
that?
just love wrestling.
Anything,
Yeah,
anything and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, WCW was obviously the Bischoff, the NWO. I can't believe they ended up winning the. For me, Raw, they started building the characters. They started copying, didn't they? Obviously, the likes of your Goldbergs and your Stings and NWO. I was never a massive WCW fan, me personally. To me, I was a lot younger though. It was hard to get accessibility. Like my brother used to watch it. He grew up with the Bushwhackers. Ultimate Warrior was his dog. Like, that was his guy.
yeah.
He used to tell me all about Ultimate Warrior. I've got all his figures, all his Hasbro still there as well. But for me, WCW, it was never for me. It just wasn't. I didn't catch on for that.
I can totally understand why, because
It was just a bit wild.
It was just ran wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was ran wild.
I love the
and
start.
There was a lot of big dons
That was it.
trying to, like, well, not.
What was the
good stuff came out of it? Don't get me wrong, but you know, I felt like maybe they were just bullying the company for dough.
A bit
That's what
much,
it
yeah.
felt
They just
like a
rinsed,
little bit.
they just rinsed Turner,
They
didn't they?
they rinsed through all the money, and you know, it just happens, doesn't it? But you know, as a wrestler, you know, Scott Halls and the Kevin Nashes, they did change.
They did change the
contracts
bits.
and all that kind of stuff. They did change wrestling. So
you're free roaming now then? Is that
full on free agent?
are you just going around? So you're OTT champ.
Yep.
When was your last defense? Oh, it was last night. Your last defense.
I did.
When
I
was
got
it?
really excited.
Right.
I was gonna do it.
So what was
and then it was sold out, and I was like,
we were shocked.
We were hyped.
What was the meaning of that? What was that? So like, was it a bit of arrogance on your part, or was it just like, you know
I don't
what?
know, man. Like
Was that planned, or were you just?
No,
Like,
I was just like,
That's so cool.
yeah, I was like,
I love that.
I was like, he got a really good reaction. You know, I mean, the crowd were really like into him. You know, as a heel, right? And I was like, oh, he got a good reaction. I'll see what mine was. And then I got his up. You know, it was really good. And I was a little bit buzzed. I was like,
Well, we heard the Seven Nation
give me
Army.
the mic. Give me the mic.
Did you bring the Seven Nation Army with you last night then?
No,
Some of them with you?
Yeah, so one of the lads is from like my hometown,
Right.
and he's just moved out here. And
Has he moved out
yeah,
here?
he got a couple of signs, man. And
I seen him there, and I think you went
filled
shut
my
up.
heart with joy.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It was great. How's your body feeling then today?
I am just tired and excited.
Yeah.
Are you banged up at all, or?
No, like my schedule is not particularly aggressive. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing one a week on average.
Yeah.
And
Is that by design, or?
I've always been quite mindful, you know, kind of linking back to what we were talking about content-wise. I've been quite mindful about how much I put myself out there as far as doing multiple companies.
Right.
And you know, speaking to Sheen and stuff like that. Like, my goal is to help change wrestling, or help keep wrestling moving, or help evolve in, you know, Dubai or, you know, Italy or whatever comes up next. Is because I know I'm not going to spend that much longer, you know, physically wrestling. You know, you might have 4 or 5 years at the most. And you know, you're going to have great matches and great moments at me, but you ain't. I'm not the Will Ospreay. Do you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
What you get from me is I'll be able, you know, I want to just help the industry grow still, especially after the last 3 years that we've had. It's just heartbreaking stuff, man.
Yeah, what's happened to people.
The lockdowns and stuff, and wrestling in front of no one. And, you know, it's always awkward because I don't want to sound like I'm whinging or anything, because I'm 100% so happy and proud of what I've achieved. But you never ever think that all those power slams on the floor outside and like smashing baking trays over my brother's head in the front room or whatever.
Been there.
You work all the way up to WWE, and then you're wrestling. I think I did 9 matches in 2021.
Wow.
And I never missed a day of training.
Yeah.
Never missed a camp. Never missed a TV taping. I did something like 9 or 10 matches in front of no one.
Well, I was going to say, were you wrestling in the?
No one. Not one person saw me perform.
That is horrible, yeah.
And it comes to the point where, like, I mean, you have so many conversations with yourself, and you're like, I'd take a 50% pay cut to be able to wrestle on the indies and just get some kind of buzz.
Yeah.
Because, of course, you know, it's different, obviously, I suppose, if you're a bit younger or I don't know, whatever. But
You see it ticking a bit.
yeah, no one gets into this for the dough. I just don't, like, you know, I see a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of, I'm not a big fan of the whole, you know, when they go to, like, the Dallas Cowboys or whatever, and they're just like, oh, we're doing a
Yeah.
fucking big American jock run around, like, putting everyone through the paces. I'm like, if you don't want to be a wrestler when you're 10,
I get this.
you are never going to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
There'll be 1 or 2, like a Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
He was never a wrestler.
But
right?
he was a boxer,
And then,
though,
mate,
so
yeah,
there
he's
was
still
something.
combat,
There was
yeah.
still something.
Still combat sports, right? But he was never a wrestler. He's never a pro wrestler. He was never a guy that wanted to be chokeslammed. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to do this? You have to love it. And you know, I'm more than happy to sit here and say this. Like, they'll never ever find. They're looking for these golden nuggets, and there's 1,000 independent wrestlers out there that are killing themselves every week to try and get noticed.
It's not fair.
I'm like, I'm sorry, mate, but Johnny Jock who failed a Dallas Cowboys tryout and tore his ACL.
Yeah.
He's not your man.
No, he's not.
He's not your man. Get grafting, get on the indies, and find these kids out. And when you sign them, put them through it, train them, develop these kids. Do you know what I mean? Like that for me is where the company, there's just grey areas to it. And then I can't not say Triple H is the man.
Yeah.
The man. Without him, God knows where that company would
Scary, really, isn't it?
be. It really is. That I have to be that honest about it. I just can't. How can you see the company like everything that has happened over the course of the last year or two, and the way he's rebuilt it, the way he's got Logan Paul in,
Yeah.
KSI,
Yeah.
Bad Bunny. This guy gets it.
He does get it.
Like, he just gets it. Like, I've always been one of these people that said it, and whatever, if this podcast goes out, it goes out, and if people hear, they hear it. I honestly believe, truly, that since, say, the Attitude Era, where you had Pamela Anderson and Mike Tyson knocking geezers out, right?
Yeah.
That was
Mega.
cool
Good.
shit, right?
Mega.
And it was crossover.
Yeah.
It was really good crossover stuff. Like, the whole world knew who Mike Tyson was.
Megastar.
No, it's like having, David Beckham come in and kick someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the biggest, most famous boxer ever, right? And I always thought that WWE underachieved.
Really?
Because it's only us that know it.
Yep.
No matter, you think of how famous and how popular and how massive WWE is. If you go down this road now, even in your hometown, you watched the wrestling last night, no one will say yes.
Yeah, you're right.
You'd be asking hundreds and hundreds of people because it's just not actually that as mainstream as we think.
It's
We're just
actually
addicted to it, right? Do you know what I mean?
There was only that option for so long for people as well on
Yeah.
on international TV.
Yeah. And now it's The Rock. The Rock is the most
the one.
famous wrestler of all time.
Well, he's more famous than WWE now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's probably people that go, he used to be a wrestler. Oh, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
You're probably getting kickbacks for WWE fans now because they watched The Rock in a film.
Yep.
The WWE owes that guy a lot, man, and he obviously owes the WWE a lot for
I do
giving him
think
the platform.
though, this is why I think Roman's done so well to get out of that kind of web, because I think there is going to be restraints now on WWE. They don't want. We've seen it with Sasha Banks. They don't seem to like someone getting to a certain level. They kind of say, nah. You need us.
It's wild.
Don't forget, you need us.
Yeah.
We got
And
you here.
that's where I think the difference is with Triple H. I think he just goes, we just need 5 more Rocks in the next 10 years.
He gets it. If you become a superstar, we all benefit.
Yeah, if you go and you leave here and you become she's in Star Wars and
I know the Mandalorian, yeah.
that's
Use
famous.
it. Use
man.
it.
If you go down the road and you go, do you know who Sasha Banks is? No one, probably for a day, will say yes.
Yeah.
But if you say, have you watched Star Wars?
Yeah.
That's ultra global fame. Do you
That's
know what I mean?
Mega stardom.
And
Yeah.
so
what-
she used this platform to get to that, and that it's super huge stuff that is, man.
That's why Triple H is so smart, because he's got these Logan Pauls, these KSIs. Because if you go down the
Bang.
street now and ask, do you know Logan Paul? They're going to be like, yes, I do. I saw him
and
on
do you
that.
know he was in the WWE?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And the kids talk now. It's so bizarre, and I feel so old when I hear the conversations. But like my mates' kids, they're like, "Oh, do you see the last Mr. Beast?"
Oh.
I'm like, and I'm like, "What is that?" What
What is this?
Yeah, and they just start reeling off names of these YouTubers. I'm like, they're the famous people now.
It's
They
true.
are.
It's completely
There's
changed.
nothing we can do about it. They're the famous people.
And you have to embrace it.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to be doing. They're very old school, aren't they?
Yeah, but and that's
We know
what
why,
I'm saying.
though.
Like,
Yeah.
Trips is just a man.
He's the
And it
Don,
was
yeah.
just
Business
KSI
head
dressed
on.
as a bottle of Prime getting splashed through a table. Come on, man.
That's him.
That's
It's
good
genius.
marketing.
And then you look at last
And-
year and you had the Jackass thing.
Yeah.
That's mad crossover.
No.
You
Yeah,
ask
mega.
somebody, have you watched Jackass? People
Everyone
have
knows.
watched
Yeah.
Jackass, right? And it's a bit of a attitude era.
It's a
as well,
throwback.
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love that match as well.
It
I thought it was one of the
great-
matches
it
of the
was
night.
great.
Nah,
It was great.
you're right. He's got it spot on. He's got it down to a T. He understands the way the company's growing. He understands the whole social media, the marketing side. He knows we need to endorse these kind of stars and use them. It was the way
and
WWE
as a
was best back in the day.
50-odd-year-old man,
Yeah.
to have his head, you can just...
He gets it.
Yeah, but
He's always got
He
it.
always has been. He always has been.
Was he the one who approached you then off the Indies, or
No, it was Regal.
was it Regal? Yeah.
Regal, yeah.
So where did he pick you up from? Where were you at the time?
So, the quick version of it is, ITV wanted to bring back wrestling, so they brought back World of Sport,
Yeah, I remember this.
and me and the boys, me, Pete and Tyler, we got in, man. We never got offered. We were like, you bastards.
Did they not offer you? No.
Nah, we'd have signed it there and then.
Yeah.
He didn't get off the ground.
We'd
Though,
have
did
signed
it?
it there and then. And it just never really kicked off.
They
But
fucked
as
it.
soon as Vince heard someone was doing wrestling
He rivaled it.
on his planet,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember
Yeah,
it went big.
he went, right, shut it down, go and do a tournament.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because we weren't signed, and I mean, we were smashing it at that point anyway. Do you know what I mean?
So
As
it was-
far as
it
the
was
Indies
huge.
goes,
It
pretty
was-
strong start, right?
Yeah.
So me, Pete Tyler, and then obviously, I think Mark Andrews had already, I think he was at Impact actually, he was contracted at that point to Impact. So there's like a bunch of like the Dunne, like England guys.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
like just, doing like the camp shows, like the camps and all that kind of stuff to do like mad reps, like 150 matches a year and all this madness. Like, maybe more as well. So like we merged that with like, we were like the cool indie guys and stuff. Jordan Devlin,
Yeah. Yeah.
He's obviously just gone to Raw as well, so he was in there like smashing it in Ireland and stuff. And then yeah, so we were. I think I did a double. I think I did ICW Manchester or Birmingham maybe, and then the day after was Progress in London, and it was actually like the start of that was arguably the start of the British Strong Style thing. So I actually turned on Tyler in that match, and then me and Pete became British Strong Style with the tag belts,
Yeah.
and then the whole swerve was, it was just a trick really, and now the three of us are together. Like,
I love
I
that.
love that.
it was really cool. And he saw that, it was the heel turn that he saw, and then he messaged me and went, "You're in. I want you and the two lads. We're gonna build this, and we're gonna do WWE UK." And I was like, "Cool text, bro." I was like, what do you want me to do? How am I supposed to take in this information? I was like, "Oh my god, lads." So I'm messaging the boys like, "I think we're WWE wrestlers now."
Wow.
And they're like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." And then like we just our relationship kind of blossomed through that, and
Did you become a lot closer than that as well?
well, I mean Regal, like me
Oh,
and the
with
boys,
Regal.
me and the boys were just in the same car every weekend for 3-4 years.
That's amazing.
It's just the best.
The grind, and you're
And
from
we live like within like an 18-mile radius of each other.
Yeah.
right. So you're from the same area.
Yeah.
You're from Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton, Dudley, and Birmingham.
Wow, Black Country, representing. It's amazing that, and you all made the rise together.
Yeah, and it was that's one of that's the hardest pill to swallow.
Really.
Yeah, without a doubt, is getting on the planes without them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've came up together, and
It's heartbreaking, man.
they're still there, aren't they? Tyler.
Yeah,
Tyler. He's in
Oh,
NXT.
Yeah, I think Tyler's still at NXT.
Where's Pete though? I've not heard of Pete now.
No, he's still smashing it. They're doing he's currently doing that European tour.
Who is?
WWR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So he's in. I saw because I saw him on
think he,
SmackDown the other
I don't know
night.
whether he's the main event, but I think he had a big spot on the Birmingham
Did he?
show. Yeah,
Ooh,
the crowd. I've seen a
nice.
couple of videos.
His
man.
whole character's developed mad, hasn't it? Really.
He's just a badass.
He's a badass now.
Best. He's and Triple H sees it.
He gets
Like,
it.
yeah. And
He loves him, you can tell.
Oh my god, they're like it's pathetic. It's like sometimes like you can't not be jealous of it. He loves him.
Yeah.
He loves him.
He's wild,
He
isn't he?
just. I remember sat at Gorilla, watching Triple H and like Sean watching Pete Dunne, and they were marking like they were. How is he this good?
He's just different, isn't he?
How is he this good? How is he? And he is that good. That's the point.
The finger
Pete
manipulation, the
is
joint
that good.
manipulation.
Every face, every second of footage that you see of Pete Dunne, he's working.
He's nuts.
That's why he's just the best.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
There's not one point you can get if you want to go boring on it. Go and watch a Pete Dunne, any Pete Dunne match. Not even the ones that are like globally famous, right? There's not one stage of it where he's not 100% working, dedicated to getting everything he can out of every move, motion, facial look. The way he just walks to a corner, the way he gets in everything about him is just hyper concentrated professional performance. He's unbelievable.
Did he always get it? Because I know he started dead young, didn't he? Wasn't he in the ring
Yeah,
like
13,
13? Yeah. I heard a podcast, I think you were on a gorilla position years ago. I remember listening to it. You talking about being vegans and stuff like that. And he started at 13. So how would that even work? You're not even allowed. You're not. Is it 16? You got to be in the ring legally?
I mean,
You find a way.
well, I mean, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
There's no governing body.
He must be still so young.
You just
then.
have to be a responsible person and maybe go, Do I powerbomb this 13-year-old? Probably not. Probably shouldn't let him wrestle.
Well, that's good
But,
first.
you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's so much of wrestling is just underground, and it's just.
But like you say, that's the
working
best
men's
thing
club
about
stuff
it. That's the best thing
and
about
you can
it.
get your reps in, can't you? So.
Absolutely.
But, yeah,
Easy
13
lifting.
years old, and I mean, God knows, man. Some of the stories he tells are so funny, like hiding in boots. Because he's the littlest guy there, he's 14, 15 or whatever, he had to go in the boot because the car was
Sneaking
falling.
in, yeah. It's amazing.
Funny, man.
Now, fair play to him. He's absolutely smashing it.
He's the
And he's had a whole character change. Do you think we'll see the Bruiserweight back, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think
Triple H is dying for
I
that.
think the Bruiserweight is back.
He needs to come back.
It's just that the name graphic will eventually just change.
I think they'll change it back slowly. So, let's talk about Dubai again. We are here. What were your thoughts?
Oh,
before-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dubai.
We are here live in Dubai. What were your thoughts before coming to Dubai on obviously both the place and the wrestling scene itself?
So, I mean, I came here very, very briefly for like a day or two. We got, I think I was going to Sri Lanka with the missus, and we got like a layover type thing for like a day or two. There was like a flight cancellation or something. So we did the whole thing, run up, you know, got the Burj Khalifa and
as you do.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Burj Khalifa, is that what it's called?
Yes, it is.
Sound-
You got the Al Arab as well.
Yeah.
And we went up that and took all the stuff, and I was like, I
Mega.
can't live here, man.
Too naughty. Yeah.
Everything's just too expensive. It's just, this is the golden mile in it. Like the streets are paved.
Yeah.
I've never seen a cleaner place.
No, never.
I've never seen a piece of litter.
No, it's mad.
There's been here 4 or 5 days. I haven't seen a piece of litter.
And you get done by brunches here as well.
Oh,
When you go, or
it's
you can
a bit
drink
annoying,
for
yeah.
like 4 hours, and you're like, oh, that's deadly.
And then you just go back to bed.
Yeah.
And you wake up and it's still 32 degrees.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, that's the only killer, especially the summer when it's like the 40s, mid 40s. Then it's just get out of Dubai.
And everything's
Right.
delivered if you want as well. Your
Well,
fuel gets delivered.
The next show, innit? Oh, yeah, they have
Yeah.
this fuel
Yeah.
delivery business.
Yeah.
Yes.
That blew your mind, that, didn't it?
I was in my hometown. If you leave your petrol cap open, you will not have a drop in there.
You won't have a
Right?
car.
You won't have a drop in there, right? This lot, they leave it open, text someone, and it's full. And it's also full for about £8.
Yeah.
it's
The
not-
petrol's
and they
like
don't charge
a
extra
quarter of
to
the
bring it
price,
to your
yeah.
home. It's unbelievable. We've not got out of the car
No.
to fill up in years.
No, you don't.
No, we don't have to
Someone
do that.
fills it up for you. You don't even have to lift your finger.
It's all right. It's not too bad.
What was the question?
What did you know about the Dubai scene? The wrestling, the wrestling scene.
So
The wrestling scene.
I've met Shaheen, you know, in the coolest way, just on a random indie show in Canada.
In Canada, yeah.
Yeah, so a couple of months ago, he was on a random indie show in Canada, and then we did Attack together. Like Mark Andrews got the Attack Pro Wrestling in Wales and the Midlands, and yeah, so we met there. But then, it probably, I'd say the person who kind of like put it in my face was Dan Maloney,
Oh well, he's a stalwart here.
the man.
Yeah.
Former champion here.
Yeah, so Dan Maloney started coming here. I mean, I don't even know how he got the link or anything, but he
Yeah.
just started coming. I was like, there's got to be something there. Do you know what I mean? And he had like he was in and out and like repeat returns, and he was the champion and stuff. And I was like, there has to be a scene there because you know I know Dan. He's an absolute grafter, like one of the hardest working wrestlers ever, and he's like 26.
So young.
Yeah.
No, like 26, 27, man, and he's probably had more matches than I'll ever have. Do you know what I mean?
He's a stud as well.
Yeah,
And now part of the United Empire as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
Jeez.
He's
you
just
know,
bursting up now.
I think he might be like. I think he's the only person that's gone WWE UK to New Japan.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah,
So
he's,
that's another massive thing for like to put your feather in your cap. But he's the man.
He's a workhorse.
I actually do feel a little bit bad for all the little juniors.
Yeah.
he hits
He's
hard,
a
yeah.
beast super junior. He's on the cusp, you know.
Oh yeah, he's in the tournament, isn't he, in New
on
Japan?
the cusp. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
half a pound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is there or thereabouts, yeah. He's a
There's
big
gonna be
boy, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of them, the littler boys getting thrown about a bit. and
Have you been in the
getting
ring with him?
Yeah, I've wrestled him a bunch of
Loads
times.
of times, yeah.
So he was training at this place in Birmingham when he was like 12. And I went there and like did like just like I said, like a couple of like attended some seminars and stuff, thinking, you know, I'd like try out wrestling. And I said this kid, and there's another kid there called Tyler Bate.
Oh, it's not
And I
bad
was
then,
like-
not a
and I was
bad roster
I think
there.
they're about 13 or something like that. And I was like, these kids have to be the best wrestlers of all time. They were just aliens. I was like, you could just see that they just had the craziest passion for it, and they were just young like lads who just wanted it.
Born for it.
Amazing. And then I think he had his first match when he was 12. You know, Dan Malone.
So younger than
And
Pete
I
Dunne.
watched it. Yeah, I watched him have the match at the Warsaw Working Men's Club or something like that.
12.
It was the most frightening day of my life. I don't know what his mum thought, but oh my god,
Cheering him up. Was she there?
yeah,
Had to be.
I mean,
Had to
she's
sign it
there
off.
for everything. She's a superstar, man. She's super supportive for him, and
Because he went back with the title. He did a show, I think, at Progress with the title, the DXB
the
title.
DXB.
Did you see? I don't know if he had a match defending his title over there. I'm not too sure.
Not too sure.
So you've seen obviously Dan Maloney. He's had 2 or 3 gigs out here now.
Yeah.
Won the title, lost it. That's another story. But obviously he's part of the United
So
Empire.
he's done a lot of work for putting this place on the map out there.
He's been. I was going to say like what kind of an insight on what kind of buzz there is about DXB in the UK. Is it starting to
it's
creep
just
up a
that thing.
bit?
And don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's that part of it where you are going to Dubai.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So as an
That's the
independent
key.
wrestler, you want to tick off all these cool, amazing countries that you go to. You know, like Matt Cross.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know any wrestler who's wrestled in as many countries as he has. But that was his little passion. He's like, I'm going to use the tools and the gift that I've got. I'm going to try and do it in every country on the planet.
That's what
He's
he
done
wanted.
it. I'm sure he's done Antarctica. He's done every continent. They did a wrestling show on. Is it
What, like a ship or
Antarctica?
something?
Antarctic.
Yeah,
Antarctica,
they-
yeah.
they-
Is that
Antarctica.
Antarctica
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
continent?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
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 I'm sure there's an
Like on a
island that's
ship
still,
or-
or something that qualifies for it, and I'm sure they did a show there.
That's
Unless I'm
insane.
just obviously still drunk. No, I'm joking. But yeah, and I'm sure he was on it, but he has wrestled on every continent.
Probably
in
Atlanta or something.
hundreds and hundreds of countries, and that's one of the coolest things about being an independent wrestler is
Yeah.
you make contacts, you speak to people, you be nice, you put people over, you put people up, you put people up when they need it,
Yeah.
and you'll get it back.
Yeah.
And and this is where it comes from. And there's going to be a lot of people, obviously, I think after I go back that want a piece of the pie,
Well, we hope so.
Well, I think
and that can only help.
I think
expand.
Dubai will be high up on the list of where people want to come as well.
100%,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to let anyone in, and it's only me that's ever allowed to come back.
gatekeeper.
Me. Yeah,
me,
you
me
got it
stood
boxed.
there. Me stood there at the what's it? The passport check-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No.
He's too good. He's too good.
Not letting him
That's
go.
all right.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
and that's
Dan Maloney's out then.
yeah.
He's finished.
Me and Dan Maloney. That's it.
That's it.
But yeah, so you're just gonna. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get a higher quality wrestler coming here, which is automatically gonna help their wrestlers grow
Yeah.
because they'll just be wrestling better wrestlers, and that's the only way you can get better.
What I love as well is you're wrestling the locals here. So you had your opponent. We had him on the podcast, and he discussed. He said he was actually going to make Mustache Mountain crumble, cause an avalanche. Didn't quite work out.
No.
You came away with a victory. What did you make of your opponent that night, Faz?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest problem for them is, I mean, they're such lovely people as
Young
well.
lad
man.
as well. 26, 27.
Yeah, and he's a big boy as
Yeah.
well, man.
He's a big boy.
So the only thing that comes of it is like there's no point in breaking down the match or going too deep on the feedback. It's just reps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These kids don't
Get
get
it
to
in.
wrestle twice, 3 times a week.
Once a month for the moment.
Exactly. And I remember when I was wrestling once a month, when I started my own thing, the hype, the over concentration that you put into everything, you're writing every single thing down.
Yeah.
Getting dressed in my gear the night before just to make sure it fits. You're doing
Had a
profiles
few beers the
and
night
everything,
before.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Curry.
So obviously for these, like, there's a lot of maybe a little bit of extra pressure put in because they're not getting the reps in. So all I say to him is you just got to train 2-3 times a week,
Yeah.
and then training just push it into matches. That's what we used to do. It's like me, Dan, Tyler, Mastiff, the Hunter brothers. Like,
Yeah.
That's who basically taught me wrestling and taught us wrestling. It was like the Hunter brothers, and they were just dons, like little local. They should obviously be way more famous than they are, but it just never happened, or just the right thing.
But
didn't
in the
happen at
circle,
right
you
time.
know. If
And
you
we
know,
would
you
go
know.
to this scout hut in Penn, in Wolverhampton, and we would just wrestle. I bought a ring because I didn't want to wrestle on the floor anymore.
Yeah.
So we all bought a ring, and it was just up all the time, and we'd go there, come rain or snow, and just wrestle. 3-4 times a week.
So like you say, you just got to get it in where you can and when you can. He's called the chop keeper, by the way. Speaking of chops,
Yeah, he's got a few. He's got a few in his back pocket now, I think.
Oh, jeez.
I tell you what, his chest at the end, like minced meat.
Yeah.
And you said off air actually, you took it a bit easy on the chops.
Yeah, I think because he was just so lovely. And sometimes
You got the crowd chopping it with
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah,
That was great. That
He had about 50 chops off the crowd, didn't he? Yeah.
ridiculous. Did you base that match on chopping him more based on his name because you knew that was his gig?
Yeah, maybe subliminally, but that's just the portion of British Strong Style you get from Trent Seven, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. So you put the title on the line as well.
Yep.
The OTT. Will you be coming back and defending it again?
I have absolutely no reason to say no. Get me on that plane.
You're loving
Please,
it.
please do. We want you here more.
We want you here all
Yeah,
the time, to be honest.
yeah.
We want to make it the Trent Seven Arena.
Yeah, and
Warehouse 7.
The Academy.
yeah,
Warehouse 7.
I know.
There you go.
Can't believe it.
There you go.
I went to a bar yesterday. It's got like 7 sports bars. I was like, oh, this is all
It's meant
just
to be.
working.
7's
It's
my
all
lucky
here.
number as well. I love the number 7.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically that's the reason why I'm called that.
Your
But
lucky
then-
number.
Yeah, but then I know all my favourite footballers were number 7.
Me too.
Cantona and-
So it's a United fan.
No, well, I was when I was a kid because they were just the best.
Is that?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be a Wolves fan? They'd be shit.
Yeah. Well, now they're good now.
Get
Yeah,
drilled
do you wanna
6-0
go-
last
do you wanna go
night.
watch the Wolves?
Robbie Keane, class.
No,
No?
they lose 1-0 every week. You know, you got 30,000 people in Mullen. You're just depressed every week.
Yeah,
Because
going
you're
up,
a kid,
going
you just
down.
want to watch the coolest things, don't you?
So yeah, your Cantona, your Ronaldos, and
Yeah,
Beckham,
Big
777.
Letitia.
Yeah. All the 7.
Yeah.
I want to just touch about Fires as well, because obviously he's just one of a handful of Dubai homegrown talents. You've travelled all over the world. How would you compare? You saw the show last night. You were there.
Yep.
A lot of them were Dubai's own, so coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
How would you compare Dubai to other countries in relation to the prospects that are coming up through the ranks?
Mainland Europe is probably the closest because they're in a similar position where they have to travel quite far to get their reps in.
Yeah.
Like I remember doing some work in Italy, in Milan, for a company called Asca a few years ago, and it's that same kind of thing. That there's just no reps for the kids,
Yeah.
and like unless you've got the perfect combination of a couple of quid here or a good job that lets you have the extra, day off. Like when I started wrestling, I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You had to.
Back
yeah.
then, you could not make a living out of independent wrestling. I mean, arguably that's probably one of the things I'm the most proud about being part of, was that boom in merchandising.
Yeah.
From like the Progress days and the
Yeah.
Fight Club Pro days and all that kind of stuff. Is that we actually kind of like showed people that you can make 400 or 500 quid a week here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And all your money didn't come from the promoter.
Yeah.
It came from you getting your ass
Getting your table there
on
as
the
well.
table
Yep.
and talking to these people, knocking doors.
Yeah.
We
That's
go back
it.
Exactly.
full circle.
Exactly.
Reps.
It's like the
It's-
book.
it's- everything's reps in it. Like I used to watch what's his name, Colt Cabana, when he used to come over.
yeah.
And there'd be like 400 people in the queue. I'd be
I
like,
know, because he was the first one to get podcasts going as well.
Yeah.
He really instigated that.
Kevin Owens. I wrestled him before he went to WWE, and the queue for him. And I was
Unbelievable, yeah.
Like, what was the T-shirt that he said? Oh,
What,
it
Fight
was the
Steve Fight?
Cena one, yeah.
Yeah.
Kill Steen Kill.
Kill
right?
Steve, kill.
Kill Steen Kill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he must have sold 200
Jeez.
this weekend, and I was like, right, calculator.
Was
Yeah.
were you
How much is that?
Like,
getting the sauce?
right.
Oh, money.
I'm like, he doesn't. You don't. He could just wrestle for free.
Yeah.
He could wrestle for no match fee. He was making bank
With
off them T-shirts.
Do you think that's why he gets a lot of respect from like the books and that as well for instigating and obviously doing the collaboration with Pro Wrestling Tees and building
Yeah,
that
that-
your own company?
Once again, they're
Different.
on another level.
Yeah.
Them and and Kenny's an absolute alien performer as well, but he's got a good brain for it. And the books are just, they're probably one of the maybe the coolest story
Ever.
of indie guys making it, really.
I
on
think
a
they are, yeah.
massive multi-millionaires living these unreal gaffs with like basketball courts and
Company
stuff, and they're just the
executives.
same lovely normal lads that were wearing the tassels wrestling in front of 400 people at PWG.
It's amazing, isn't
Do
it?
you know what I mean? They're still the same people, and they're just great, man. I love them. I think they're amazing.
I've read the book on them as well. There's some amazing insight there as well.
They're class.
They did change the business.
They did.
They
Hands
did.
down.
And
Hands down.
they've obviously brought it gives a lot of like regular casual fans as well. You know, if you hear about the story, it does make you open your eyes more to indie scenes. There's so much now in the UK. I went to a Rev Pro show. I saw a guy from your neck of the wood actually, Diaries.
Diaries, yeah.
Man like Diaries.
Man like
I bought his
Diaries,
merch as well. He's got like the old comic.
He
is class.
He watched he's probably the most merchandising. His stuff is unreal.
Yeah.
He does these wicked packages like
POW and
buy
all that.
this and all this kind of stuff. And his t-shirts, he puts a lot of thought into it. And it's the Lyrical Dragon tour,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every month he puts up, and it looks like he's. And,
It's like a
he
set
is on
list.
tour this
Yeah,
year.
an album like released like
and
an artist.
The way he promotes himself and he advertises and like markets himself, he's a don.
It's unbelievable.
Absolute don. He's
They're
brilliant.
just changing the business again. There's the little things, the little
Yeah.
quick, like you with the towels last night. The selling out. You got DXB on there, Trent Seven. They just went like that. Never seen it.
Yeah, it's class.
Never seen. I didn't even know you sold them. I'm not.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we shifted a lot of merchandise. There's a lot of Mustache Mountain t-shirts been sold, and I remember once Pete did a t-shirt because obviously the contracts that we were on when we first signed were very minimal, right? They were just to hold us there until they worked out what they were going to do. So they let us still do the indies, which was the real genius behind it was Triple H and Regal understanding that if we do the indies as WWE wrestlers, people from the indie fans are going to start watching WWE and getting back, getting to help build this UK brand.
Makes sense.
And then also, we're doing main roster tours. I'm sat at the back of the bus with Randy Orton. Well, not at the back. He'd have probably beat me up.
Yeah,
But
right. At the
I was
front.
sat near the back. Yeah. Good story, bro.
Oh, I thought he had his own buses anyway.
He's the
Come
man.
on.
He's the man. So like, you know what I mean, and like the main roster tours and stuff like that were cool because we were wrestlers. We were just with WWE. We were signed to WWE, and so then you've got this crossover of like people going to indie show, like people were saying, "Oh, you come to the wrestling down, you know, London or Wolves or whatever." But there's WWE wrestlers on it. Contracted WWE wrestlers were on the show.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But
Unheard of.
and that was the real boom. That was when it just went to the next level. You remember like What Culture? And all
Yeah,
that
what
kind of
sort
stuff?
of wrestling? Yeah.
So that was right on the cusp of that. There was a show that we did with What Culture. I think it was like Cody Rhodes versus Del Rio.
I remember
Kurt
that. Yeah.
Angle and I can't remember.
Like you're just having a laugh. now,
Minoru
man.
Suzuki was on it,
Oh.
and we were all on it. And I was like, "This is wrestling. This is Forbidden Door before the Forbidden Door."
Yeah.
Do you know what I
And
mean?
it's annoying because they've been holding that back, stuff like that. Everyone, because of what WWE did and the whole encapsulation and taking the whole market, everyone forgot that you could do these crossovers. And now everyone's like wants to be the first to do the crossovers. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's class. I like it. Forbidden Door is like a definite like goal show to get on. Do you know what I mean?
And if you look at Suzuki, you say how old are you now?
41.
Well, what's he, 51?
He's a badass.
You said you've only got 4 years left. Come on.
Yeah.
You could do another 10.
I mean, if I was as much of a badass as Minoru Suzuki, then maybe.
I think he's my favourite
It's
of all time.
class.
There's never been anyone like him.
Well, talking about that Forbidden Door stuff, I did my return for Rev Pro a couple of months,
Right.
about a month ago, at their like Rumble show, and they like, and this goes without saying, the work that the kids are there, you know, like your Dan Maloney's and all them lot, the work that they put in to keep the scene alive, it should always, you know, they should always get maximum credit for that, because I was booked as completely slipped in through the back, unannounced.
Yeah.
I came out as number 7 in the Rumble, right?
Oh, I love it.
And it's honestly one of the best pops I've ever had
Really?
in wrestling.
And no one had a clue.
No one had a clue I was there, and they'd sold out Your Call,
Yeah.
and I was like, if that doesn't show you just like how hard like these kids have had to work to get it
to
built
that.
up there, that I can come back and reap the rewards of that, like a pop like that. And it's all on their heads, like it's all on their back of the graph that they put in.
Rev Pro unreal, by the way.
Oh, man, when I come out, I was nearly in bits, man.
Did you win? Did you not know? So Ty Dillinger vibes with the 10,
Yeah,
with the 7.
exactly, yeah.
I love that. What I wanted to say as well about Rev Pro, I was just touching on that. With the show I went to, even more like you say, they've carried the company on the back. I went to, and it was AEW. They were doing the title, the pack. was defending his title. I can't remember who it was against. I think they did like a little mini tournament. It might have been Speedball or something. But like you say, to be able to have an AEW title defended, and that was recorded, I think, for Rampage or Dark or something like that. What an amazing achievement. Red Pro have gone through the roof. Yeah. Ospreay's still the champ there as well.
Was it Robbie X?
It might have been, you know. I think it was Robbie X. It was it was in Manchester.
Yeah, I think it was Robbie X.
Because they had a tournament. Obviously, man like Darius was there. I think it was the Sunshine Machine were there as well.
Class.
It was a great event. I was like, that was one of the first indie. Well, it was the first
big
indie show
venue
my
that
wife
was
had
well,
been
you
to.
know.
Who
It
did?
was a big venue, wasn't it?
It was a big.
Manchester
Yeah,
one.
it was the one at Old Trafford, right near
Yeah.
Old Trafford. The dock, something at the dock or something.
Cool venue.
Warehouse. That was that's Sport Warehouse as well, actually. Amazing venue, and that was the first indie show that my wife had been to. And she was like, I can't, but I said, not every indie show's like this. Like, this is different, because I've done Mania and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I said, let me tell you now, not every indie show's like that. She's like, it's Pac. Pac's a favourite wrestler as well. So what they've done, and it just shows you don't actually need your AEW. You don't need to be part of that now.
Yeah,
you don't need to be part of WWE now.
And the beautiful part of AEW is, you know, like me, you can dip in and out.
Yeah, drop in, drop out.
Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone, of course, common sense prevails. We all want a nice little contract that you can just be like, right, okay. No, I don't have to stress about everything.
Yeah, it takes a bit of...
You know, a little injury here, a little injury there, they all add up. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's very nice to have the money coming in every week, of course. But, you know, I suppose, and I'll be the first one to admit that it's been a culture shock, like, going back to it. Because I feel like if we'd have just been rocking and rolling, doing shows, touring and everything, they went, we're shutting the UK down. I'd have been like, that is terrible. I'm so
culture
sad.
shock going back to...
Well, I wrestled in front of no one for 2-3 years.
So going back in front of people live?
Yeah, and not as a WWE wrestler. It was almost like a little bit compounded. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'd gone to these weird depths of performing in front of no one. Like, you can't do pantomime with no one there.
No, you can't.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a way,
He's behind you needs to be said by the people in the crowd.
And
you know what I mean?
you obviously don't give you 100%. I'm imagining.
Oh mate, we killed each other.
Really?
I watched
With
some
no
of the
one
matches
there?
back, man.
What was I doing?
Oh my god, me and Jordan Devlin, right? So McDonough,
JD McDonough.
right? We had a match where the storyline was like I dropped the weight to wrestle for the cruiserweight title, and I watched it back a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, what? How? And we're doing this in front of a timekeeper and a paramedic. And the paramedic don't even like wrestling.
He's killing each
They're
other.
watching.
Right? They're just like that. I hope he doesn't die. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's no one there. No one.
Is that just because like it's just the way you are? You just got to go all out.
Yeah, and your outlet in this, like I said, you don't do it for the money. You do it because you just need an outlet. You do it because you love it. You do it because you're performing it and you're interacting with people. Like, that's why it's a live event business. It's not a TV business.
No,
You get to feed off the crowd, don't you?
It's a live event business, and that for me is one of the things that I think flows a little bit more through Triple H than it does through Vince. Is it doesn't matter how many fucking hard cams you look at or how many poses you do into a hard cam. What matters is the engagement with the live crowd, because they're the ones that will tell the story through the lens.
Yeah.
When you've got the best cameramen in the world, they're gonna get you.
Yep.
Right? Is it Steve Austin who said, like, I've never looked at a hard cam in my life?
It's mad, yeah.
He goes, I'm fucking Steve Austin. If the
yeah.
cameras don't get me, it's their
on them.
fault,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And, like, you know, there is a lot of that I've taken on a little bit, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the point of it. At WWE, it's the best of the best. It's the best cameramen. It's the best sound people, the best production, the best pyros. The way that, like, the structure of the production of the shows and the everything's incredible, right? And I've noticed a lot more specifically on the people that are coming up to, like, the main roster now. They're just wrestling. They're just working. Let the cameras will get you, man.
Yeah.
Do you think they've eased off a bit on that then?
I hope so.
Because I remember they were saying that you need to learn the hard cam. You've got to make sure
Yeah,
you look at camera one,
and
camera
of
two.
course you do. Of course you do.
You get
because
that.
that's why they ram it down everyone's throats. Is so. All right then, it becomes second nature.
Right. Was
then-
that the word they always use? It becomes second
Yeah,
nature.
you should obviously be working to the cameras, but then when you become a good worker, you're just doing it naturally. And then the camera will try and find you, and then there's times when you look up and the camera's already in your face. And you're like, oh yeah.
Yes.
So would you say, for example, you like, you know, Finn Balor, done 20 years or whatever, 15 years. If he couldn't understand the hard cam and reaching, would they let him go? Do you think they? Or do
No,
you think
no,
they?
no.
Do you think they? Would they keep him in developmental?
What,
Or would they
before
release
he
him onto,
became
if he could? If he just couldn't understand it, he just couldn't get the camera thing.
the cream always rises to the top.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and you,
So it's not
you'll
that
see-
completely
No,
control.
It's,
You
it's
hear-
not,
just
it's,
hear it.
It's just one of those things that they just say, and they're right because you should obviously do it, especially when you're learning wrestling and you're coming through the ranks. But you just become that extended version of yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
And the camera just has to find you.
Was it the same in NXT UK or more relaxed?
Maybe for us it was a bit more relaxed
Yeah.
because the brand was quite like strongly built around us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were in like all the cool storylines with the Gallus and
Yeah, you were the guys.
yeah, and those tag tournaments and stuff at the start. Like we had all the cool storylines, so we just you got to film us. It was cool. But then
Because we're cool.
we were just really cool. But like, say my entrance for argument's sake. That I think that's the best part of my act. to
I
be
think
honest,
it's bad.
right?
I
loved it
I
last
love the
night.
edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the little slow roll
Yeah.
and the tail whip and everything. Like once you do that, as soon as you come with something like that, they're like, yeah, he gets it. We don't need to whinge at him about the hard camera because I'm staring straight down at the start. So you kind of like you check that box early.
The
and
towel throw did that come from an accident?
No, not really. the slow roll, because I didn't always have the towel, but I always did the slow roll.
That was always your thing.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think about where it could have come from is Tajiri. Can I have some water, please? Shouting at fires all night. So Tajiri used to do this thing. It was a bit weird when he Tajiri. Like he had some weird little mannerisms.
Yeah.
I remember once, I think probably wrestling Super Crazy or something like ECW. He like shook hands him to the outside, throws him over, and he just went. And he just. That was just the way he got out of the ring. I was like,
Just weird.
that's so
Great.
I'll do that.
Different.
Because when I started like the mustache mounted thing, like one of the ideas I had, I was going to have like when the mountain climbers chalk packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to have one of them on my back, and I was going to like scale the ring
The
post.
ring.
So I like put my foot on the side of the ring, and then I'd climb up the top turnbuckle and be like,
Bang
like
pose.
I
Yeah.
climbed to the top of the ring mountain.
I love that.
I mean, like, have you seen LeBron James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big
It's
clap,
sick,
yeah. So that was the first idea, and I was like, that's quite cool.
I do like the slow roll though.
Just the rolls. Yeah, I love the roll.
I love it.
The towel just took
Yeah.
over. Yeah. And like me and Tyler obviously did it, and like, both of us doing it.
Yeah.
Just going to you both go to the corner. And,
Do you think you'll team again with Tyler one day?
it's got to be. It's written in the stars, surely.
Yeah, it all comes back in the end. Is there any other good Brummies or West Midlanders coming through? We've spoke about Diarese, we've spoke about Maloney. Is there anyone you could think of?
This is where I get put on the spot and I forget someone and they hate me forever.
Because this is your scene, right?
It's not really. I wouldn't say it's Midlands people. It's just that there's always been a buzz around the Midlands.
Yeah.
For wrestling, OTT does their shows over in Wolverhampton now at the venue that we used to run.
I saw that you did a return there recently, didn't you? Was that the best?
I did it. The last one was when I won the NLW title.
Yeah.
Santino Morello, the running guest referee. Like the ref got super kicked through a door. I was like, this is
What is
wrestling.
going
man.
on? This is it.
wrestling.
Yeah.
My heart was so full. Oh my god, because I didn't know Santino was coming out. Legit, I did not know.
Oh, so it popped you as well?
Oh yeah, so I'm like,
Did you go? Yeah.
The slow
Yeah.
cover. The slow cover's got to come soon. I look down and thinking he's
Santino as well.
Doing a little march, and I was like,
Oh no.
oh my god, wrestling's the best. 1, 2, God. You know what I mean? He was amazing.
Still a fan.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah. And he's the man as well. He looks after me like a tree when I go to Canada and stuff. And yeah, there's just a bit of the boom's happening. It's the reboom.
So is this the
So
best
it's like-
time to be a free agent?
Oh my God.
Just different. Look, you've been Dubai
Well,
now. You're going to Canada. You got a tour
Yeah,
there.
so I'm in Canada for a month.
Right. So
And
that's
then,
insane.
yeah, then I come back, and then what have I got? Then there's some of the Rev Pro stuff.
when are you heading to Canada?
I did
Soon?
about 3 days.
Right. That's a
Oh.
quick turnover.
Yeah, I got
That's a serious
I
jet
think I
lag.
fly back on Tuesday morning. It's my mate's birthday on Tuesday.
Oh, you're joking.
So you know, we'll probably go and play golf or something.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say they get a round in
Yeah,
and
round
leave
in.
And we
A
get
couple of
back,
rounds
and
in the
it'll be
round.
8 degrees and probably rain.
Yep.
on a links course. Yep.
Living the dream.
And then the next day is Mrs.'s birthday, and then I'm just waving goodbye again and just
See you
doing
later.
one for another month. But
Happy birthday. See you
you
later.
know,
You've got to do
she's
it.
had a lot. She had all 3 years of. I don't know how I'm not dead under the patio. I don't know how she hasn't finished me off.
But she had you during the pandemic.
she
So
had-
she had a time.
Yeah, well, she had a version of me. very, very quiet, sullen, sadder version of Trent Seven. That was sat
Devastated
on the
Trent.
sofa playing Mario Kart.
Oh, is this what it is?
They
We're
start
all
winning
there.
something.
Yeah, Deliveroo every day.
Yeah, great, loving life.
Can't go to the gym. Sad. Can't go anywhere.
I
Can't
tell
go
you
play
what.
Golf.
Oh, do you get reps in during that? What were you doing?
So we just
jumping
built
on
a
the
ring
bed?
in the house.
Did you build a ring? What, in the garden?
No, sorry, built a gym in the front room.
Yeah.
But how do you get your reps though? Like ring?
You
like?
just don't.
So do you go out of ring shape?
Yeah, we would. It's not like a ring shape. It's more like. What's the word for it? Like,
Like, how long can you go without running the ropes before it really hurts
Yeah.
again?
it hurts.
Every time, anyway.
Yeah, every time anyway. Because, like I said, like unless you're getting really good reps in, like physically now, I feel like if I did 3 a week, I'd feel a bit better than doing 1.
Is it getting a bit tough with the one?
It's not. It's tough. Your body gets used to it.
Right.
Like bump ready type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like, you know, I'm walking around, I'm having a nice life, playing golf. Do you know what I mean? Selling a bit of merch and stuff like that, and then doing like work like this. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And coming out to Dubai and helping Sheen and stuff like that, and that's nice. And then you wake up the day after, and your knees are sore
Done.
because they're
Right.
just not used to the ring bumping and do you know what I mean? So that's the one thing I've noticed is like we would just get drilled every camp right for NXT UK. You just turn up there and it's just 2 weeks of just never-ending bumps.
Does it ever get any easier?
Maybe because you just get better at it.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
it's,
it,
it
you
just
get
gets
better
easier
along-
because you're better at it.
I don't know how you guys do it, man.
But then
I
that
don't
comes
know
with
how you do it.
age, though. As you get older, your body can't recover as fast.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
So
It gets
you
more
may
rigged-
get better
it gets
at it,
more
but as you
rigged
get
though, doesn't
older,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of it. I think, you know, the one thing that slows you down is the recovery.
Yeah.
Not how often you can do it, it's how often
It's
your
the
body will
recovery.
let you do it more
Yeah.
so. But
Gotta get on the
Guys.
DDP yoga, mate. Seems to work for everyone nowadays.
I know it does.
You know, you're not getting any younger. It's the way it is.
It's just
Sad.
life, innit? You just got to keep going. And
Life's a bitch, innit?
And to be fair, going back to your thing about like the next people that are up and coming, that's part of it. I feel like that's the reason why starting so late anyway. I managed to get to where I could because I was living vicariously through Pete and Tyler.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? These
Keeping you young.
stud dons like doing moves and having matches that I was like, "Whee."
Let them do the work.
You have to keep up with them a bit. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to do your best to keep up with them because I'm in the same team as them. I'm like, I do it slow. Sorry.
No worries.
it's the ego though, because you got to keep up with them.
You
You
gotta-
want
Yeah,
to.
there's so much competition in
Yeah.
it, right? So I'm like, whoa. I do a slow roll.
Recovery
I
roll.
do a recovery roll, which kind of helps the hips get stretched
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
match.
yeah.
Then I throw my tail on the rope and I twizzle my mustache.
Wow.
And Tyler's doing these like 5-star epics where he's spinning Walt around his head. And I'm like,
Jumping in and over the ropes.
that's why you've got to have a good entrance, man.
Yeah.
You can't have it all, though, can
You
you?
can't. You can't.
You have to use what God's give you.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you back here? Can we
100%.
confirm this?
I'm going to confirm it now.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Wow.
So that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Trent Seven's coming back.
I'm coming back.
Is this going to be like a bit of a little another home kind of thing here?
Yeah, because now I've got like a bit of like an agent kind of thing out in Canada as well.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of a hotbed.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a real boom out of Canada soon. So I'd really like to be with that. I really like, doing all the training at the Battle Arts Academy and stuff like that, and watching these kids grow. Like that's what really gives me a buzz in wrestling, is helping the scene and helping people just get better. And so that'd be really cool. And then if I could do the same here, do you know what I mean? I've got my little hubs then. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we can all play off each other. Then it's a little mini NWA type thing.
Yeah.
Then you talent trading, and
Spot on.
you can send 3 kids from here over to stay at the Battle Arts Academy, and they can then
Little swap.
train solidly 3 days a week getting reps in, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies in Canada that are about the same size as this.
Right. Okay.
Like 200 to 400 capacity kind of crowds. That's reps.
And it freshens it up here as well. You
Yeah, it
get new
does.
people over here, and they train with each other, and they can only get better from there,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
we've got
that's
a
the
big
goal,
future
man.
for Trent Seven.
Yeah, I've got some lovely ideas that I've got in the pipeline, and some stuff that needs to go. And it's like I say, because at my age, I feel that that's my job, that's my role, is to just keep advancing wrestling.
Yeah.
I might get him. I feel like I'm probably in the best shape of my wrestling career at the moment. I feel physically great. I feel like I could wrestle 3 times a week anyway. But if I can do that and try help 10 people from this place or 10 people from that place get a little spot, or build this up to 1,000 people audience over the next year.
That's the aim.
Because it's untapped.
Yeah.
The potential's massive.
huge.
It's scary, really.
Yeah.
Especially
And
the
then
way it's evolving.
In Dubai as well, you got the gambling things just coming in, right?
Yeah.
That's going to change everything.
Casinos.
Because people are going to come here for resorts. Yeah, it's going to be like, no one's going to... I think Vegas might even take a bit of a hit, man.
Yeah, Dubai's gonna be the hot
If
spot.
you're
now.
if you're in mainland Europe or UK, why do you want to fly 15 hours to Vegas for in the
Sure.
middle of the desert when you can come to heaven here?
Yeah.
It's got a beach, it's got everything.
Safe as well, everything. They
Yeah,
want to make
there's
this
no crime.
No
They-
crime. It doesn't exist.
No
doesn't
fights
exist.
after
Yeah.
a few beers out. That's if you fight, you're out. See you
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
I
They
think
want to make this the capital of the world, basically. They want
Yeah.
this to be
The hub,
like
yeah.
the hub of
Yeah.
everyone comes here. They got the biggest one of the biggest airports. Everyone comes through here anyway.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, so it's only
So
going to
It's a
grow.
hot
Do you know
spot.
what I mean? That's it. And and the kids that have been here, and Shaheen and you guys have, helped get it to here. And it's like, right, well, if I can help put a little bit more of a blue tick face or whatever, and just,
Yeah.
whatever
does
little
help.
angles we can do, then let's just build it, man. Let's just all work together and
Like you say.
build a class little community of people who just want wrestling to succeed.
Like you
and-
say, we're all trying to put in. We're all doing
Yeah.
our bit,
Exactly.
and it is like a big family.
And it'll happen. It will happen.
It just
'Cause
takes a bit
there's
of time.
There's too much passion, too many passionate people.
And what do you think of the crowd last night as well? Mega.
What? It's a weird crowd as well.
It is. It's mixed.
Even the young kids throwing popcorn at Andy.
Popcorn, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
banging
I
his
was getting
face.
it last night.
Yeah, the kids were going wild, and then because I don't think they sell alcohol at the show.
No.
I think you can take your own in if you want, but
Yeah.
so for them to be that into it as well, like we used to if I'm doing a show with no drinking.
Yeah, I
it's
was the
normally
same.
10 times quieter in the UK. And
Yeah.
Well, you can't, it's not a thing in the UK.
But
No one will go.
we're teaching this part of the world what wrestling is.
Yeah.
The culture, the whole, everything.
Yeah, and how the chants work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How the ebbs and the flows in and out of the reactions to the audiences and stuff, and that's what you'll see. I think will be the main thing that'll happen with maybe the training and stuff like that, is trying to get through to these kids. Like, honestly, your moonsault means nothing.
Yeah.
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 It
100%.
will if you do all of this as well.
Yeah.
Like, your moonsault will be the best moonsault ever.
Yeah.
But if you do this,
That's like your crescendo, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Work your way
Has to
to it.
mean something.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not one of them people who's like, oh, less is more. Look at all these kids doing.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't like that. Like, do all the moves in the world because the crowd go crazy. Right?
Yeah.
But once again, you still got to be able to put it all in at the start and make those interactions and make those connections with the crowd, and be able to communicate. Just those little bits of communication with a kid here or a mom there or a dad who's just really not interested. For me, that's the real true skill of performing, is trying to pull and inject a little bit of your enthusiasm into the people. How many times you go to a wrestling show and there's a dad there going, fucking hell, look at this shit.
Oh, I don't. I know.
Look at these arseholes.
Yeah.
Running around in their pants. Because it's just there with these kids. The kids are running around. They got 10,000 Haribos down their belly.
Yeah, wired.
Two Panda Pops. They're
Yeah.
absolutely buzzing off their tits.
Two Panda Pops.
Want to buy the merch?
Yeah,
Okay,
they've
here's
got
the
4
wallet.
t-shirts on,
Jeez,
100
3
quid in,
foam
yeah.
hands, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
four
They're going
fingers
wild, right? The geezer's going, fuck, this cost me about 500 quid today.
Yeah.
And they're going to take it to bed as well in the car, like hyped up in the car, like
Yeah,
just going
never
crazy.
going to
Great.
sleep, going to pile driver each other through the bunk beds. But, if I can get something out of that guy,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And
That's what it's about, the challenge. I think what's different as well is there's obviously ourselves, we're a dedicated podcast to this as well. It's obviously a growing company. To have a podcast, and a lot of the people backstage were saying that they find this a motivation because they know they are going to have to step it up because we are going to talk about it. And we are gonna really go in, and if we don't like what we see, because we're fans as well, we will say it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's like step up now.
And the other fans are going to start telling that story as well, because there's a lot. The cool thing is, it's just exciting.
Yeah.
So that's what they need to get excited about. But there is a lot of pressure involved, because I'm not stopping until this place has got 1,000 people every show.
I love that.
And we're doing Oman, or we're doing Abu Dhabi, or we're doing little tours or whatever, or we're doing shows in the casinos.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to take this, and that's where we're going to build it to, and I know we will. And them kids are going to have to wrestle in front of 1,000 people.
And then it's different pressure
And there's different
altogether.
world. You know what I mean? You got to step the gear up. You got to step how much you're training up. You got to step how much you're going to the gym up. You can't have no like bed hair. You got to have a trim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to look sharp.
Fresh.
You got to pick a lane that you go down as far as the way you look. Do you know what I mean?
like-
I've gone through like a lot of little different changes since I was like WWE. I just had the normal kind of hair, and then I dyed it like the blondie type thing, and then I went to like the silver, and then obviously lockdown was cool because I got to grow
The
it
silver
out.
looks great, by the way.
So then I got to grow it out and stuff, and grow the beard, shrink the beard, whatever. So you can play with those things. But it's about picking a lane. These kids have got to go, if you want to do this, you've got to have a real job, and you've got to be a superstar. And, that's what I want to help out with.
Separate both of them.
Yeah, you have to have a look. Something that people can connect with, and whether it's a towel flipping over the rope or, like a pose, a certain pose. Like, you need the crowd to do your pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to pick a song that people can connect with.
That's important as well, because
7
people
Nations
connected
is
last
trusted,
night to yours, mate.
7
Jeez.
Nations Army, man.
So I've come out to that forever.
Yeah.
Obviously, WWE, I'm not just going to message Jack White and say, excuse me, can
Yeah.
I use your most famous song ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a...
But it's such, everyone just goes into it, don't they? Everyone jams
The biggest example of that is Grado from
my
ICW.
God, yeah.
He sold it all on the entrance.
Madonna, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that has got to be the greatest entrance of all time. It has to be for me, especially indie.
incredible, yeah.
And then
That
obviously,
one where he fought Drew McIntyre.
oh, do you remember that with Mick Foley as ref?
It was amazing.
One of the biggest pops ever. Yeah, we need to see him
amazing.
get back in the business as well.
Yeah, he's class. I mean, he's so famous now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing
BBC Scotland. He runs the place. Yeah, he's
another one who
so
grinded
funny.
from the bottom.
so
His Vice documentary as well, I think with his mum and all. Oh,
yeah,
mate.
frighteningly funny bloke.
He's a legend, man.
Cripples me every time he opens his mouth. He's so funny.
But like you say, he didn't have all the talent, but he was a character. And he had the entrance connected with the audience. And I feel like you're turning into Triple H every second we're on here.
Yeah.
You see it now in the mirror. You
Well,
gotta look at the
hopefully he
hard
is the
camera.
podcast.
Let's get
But
him
yeah,
on.
like, yeah.
Let's
But
book
that's
him.
it. And that's one of the things that, working with so closely with Triple H.
Yeah.
Like, it leeches off you, and you just see how clued up
You
he
get
is,
it.
and you got it right. Come on. And that's what I want to do. I want to, no matter how long it lasts, or if I do get another deal, like whether it's in a year or next year or whatever, but in that meantime, it's just all systems go, man. Foot to the floor, Dubai, Canada, maybe a little one in Europe or something like that. Spain's kind of popping off a little bit now.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're still struggling a little bit of getting the numbers in. So, man, if you want to put the WWE logo on the poster, they ain't going to know. Stick it on there.
Yeah.
Good on
Let's
you.
get in there, man. Just put the logos on the thing. Let me do some seminars. Let me teach people. Let me help you with the production side of things. And
Just use me.
let's just build the wrestling again.
Give him back.
Because, like I said before, wrestling itself is an untapped market. When done properly, it's a wonderful form of entertainment.
Yep.
Well,
100% agree.
When done properly. Well, we're going to be following you and watching
Thank
what you do. Hopefully we can recap. Maybe if you come
I'll be
when you
back.
come back, we'll
Yep.
get you on for another episode. We'll discuss the growth of how it's come and what you've been up to then as well.
Perfect.
Lastly, are we going to see you as Dubai World Champion? I want you to say it right now. Are we going to see you as
It's
champion?
got to be the goal.
That's the goal, yeah?
Got to be the goal.
You ain't going to stop until you get that?
No.
Love it.
Love it.
Amazing. Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you.
Absolute
Thanks for
pleasure.
having me.
Where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram. That's it.
Yeah.
I only really like Instagram because I have the attention span of a gnat as well. So yeah, Instagram at Trent Seven with a number 7 at the end.
Yeah.
Give
Brilliant.
us a follow.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
This has been Touchgrass Wrestling. I've been Johnny Romano.
I've been Grayson Green.
And I am Trent Seven.
It's been a long night. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.